Hey, so one of the things that can drain your energy and cause you to go through a lot of frustration is trying to save people, trying to fish them out of the pond. When you're on this journey of evolution, you're taking a lot of information and you're watching a lot of great videos and you're feeling really excited about it. Naturally, you want to share that with other people. The only thing is if it's not cemented, if this new information isn't cemented in your knowingness, you can be in danger of diluting it a little bit. And people can really put a downer on things, especially your family. If you're really excited about something and you feel like it's all clicking, you're understanding, you're remembering who you really are, you're remembering that you're a part of the whole creation of the universe and you're infinite, you can get really jazzed about that. But if you don't have strong roots and you share that with someone and they are really dead against it, really critical, if you're not in the right frame of mind, it can start to put you on a downer. So develop strong roots first before you attempt to fish people out of the pond. Fishing people out of the pond isn't really a wise thing to do. Best thing, I believe, is to lead by example. So once the people around you see that it's working for you, the people that are ready are going to be they're going to be intrigued by that. They're going to want to ask you questions about it. They'll be like, "Hey, so what's this whole thing about yoga? What's this whole thing about detoxing? Or what's this whole thing about the spiritual path?" They'll find you. When the student is ready, the master will appear. I was having a conversation with my brother one day and we were laughing because we have a member of the family who really doesn't like this whole idea of being infinite, of being a part of the universe, of creating your reality and all that kind of thing. And when you attempt to explain it to someone who has no knowledge of this at all, you have to really break it down into layman's terms so that they can kind of grasp what you're talking about. And because you're trying to break it down so much, you start to tell them, and then you think to yourself, wow, that sounded really dumb, even to yourself. And so you can really put them off then, because they're thinking, well, what you just said didn't make sense. And you may have had this experience when you're talking to someone who already knows about this stuff. You're very fluid in your conversation with them because they already get it, and it's just a lot easier to talk to them about it, and it makes sense to you what you're saying. So the reason why I say it's not such a good idea to fish people out of the pond is because everybody's at the station they're at is where they need to be to learn the wisdom that they need to learn. I get given a lot of books, and I got given a yoga book about 3 or 4 years ago, and I knew about yoga. I thought it was a cool thing, but I didn't delve into the book. I kind of looked at it and I thought, yeah, that's kind of cool, and I put it down and it got forgotten about. Because that station in my life, for me, I felt like other things were of a higher priority. And it's not until I've got to this station of my life that I feel that I'm ready for that. And I found myself picking up that yoga book that had been in the corner, and I was reading it, and it was like, it just... it was a big realization that it's like, wow, I was ready for the information that was in that book. But if somebody had tried to hit me over the head with that book 4 years ago and be like, hey Mike, you need to know this and you should be living your life this way, it wouldn't have done me any good, because I had to walk the path that I had to walk to get to this point now where I'm ready to take that information in. So it's like Another way to explain it is like if you know what a hairpin turn is when you're driving Grand Prix racing cars, you have what's called a hairpin. It's a really sharp turn. So let's say, for example, through your experiences in life, you know what it's like when you're approaching the hairpin too fast. Okay, you're going to veer off course and crash. You're not going to be able to make the turn. And you may have learnt from that mistake, and you know how to drive the vehicle in a better way so that you'll make the turns coming up. You know, your vehicle, your physical body, and your mind, your intellect, your spirit, your heart. You know how to drive that, how to keep your actions in alignment with your thoughts. Now, you may see someone approaching that hairpin too fast. Naturally, you're going to want to help them. And yes, you can say to them, you know, you could be approaching this too fast, and when you reach that hairpin, you're not going to make it. But when you say it to them, be okay with them doing it their way, because if you're going to insist on them doing it your way, you know, you're giving them more of a... They're going to hold on to the way that they're doing it, because there's an instinct to rebel against people that are pushing things, you know, trying to force it down people's throat. Now, we don't know that maybe they need to crash at the hairpin in order to get it. Sometimes we have to go through really challenging experiences before we get it, before we understand, and then we can be like, hey, you know, I went through that and I really don't want that. That is really not what I prefer. And because they went through that, it motivates them enough to make the change, to start to evolve and vibrate at a faster rate so that they can be in alignment with the vibration of the reality that they really want to be in. Words like that, you see, you couldn't really have said something like that 20 years ago maybe. People were saying it, but it was kind of frowned upon. Things are changing. Words like frequency, vibration is becoming more mainstream now. So when you start to take this journey of detoxing, looking after your health, following the path of your highest joy, your energy is going to start to rise, and you're going to start feeling different around this area. So when you're communicating to someone from this area, to another person who might be still down here in the, I don't want to say lower energies, because it makes out like, okay, we're higher, we're more superior to you. It is what it is, and they are where they are. But when you're communicating from here, to them, you're talking complete gibberish as far as they're concerned. So, and I've experienced that a lot. And the really dangerous thing is if you need them, if there's a neediness within you for them to see it the way that you see it, you're going to lose your energy. Because you're needing them to see it the way that you see it in order for you to feel validated somehow. And you're just going to get frustrated. Just know that what you're doing for you is right for you. Know that you're of light, and that what you're endeavouring to do is to get yourself into a place where you can function optimally and then create changes in the world. When you're ready to make changes, when you're ready to give more of yourself to the world, you will do that, won't you? We wouldn't stop ourselves necessarily. Well, me personally, I wouldn't stop myself. When I feel like I'm ready to give more to the world, I will give more to the world. So I don't listen to people who say, oh, you're selfish, doing meditation and yoga and all that, detoxing, all you think about is yourself. You know, I think, well, okay, you know, that's the... If you want to judge me in that way, fine. I know that what I'm doing is who I am, and I'm here to be who I am. And I'll leave it at that. Anyway, I hope you got something from this. Catch you later. Peace.